Week one is finally here. We have the rankings you need to start off your year. Want to know top 12 quarterbacks and tight ends incoming, along with some sleeper options. Let's go. Kev, week one is finally here, man. Let's just dive into it. It's too exciting. We got to give the folks what they want. Let's start off with our QB1 rankings for week one. And as a consensus, so me, you, and Robbie, this is how we have it. We have Lamar at 1, Jalen Hurts at 2, Josh Allen at 3, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson at 7, Tom Brady at 8, Joe Burrow at 9, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, and Trey Lance rounding out our QB1s. So obviously, if you have one of these guys, you're plugging them in. Hopefully, you didn't draft 2 quarterbacks. If you did, drop us a comment. Let us know if you have any start-sit decisions. But Kev, for the people who might have waited on quarterback, who's a guy you like outside of this QB1 range for week one?
Yeah, for me, it's Jameis Winston. I mean, he gets a fantastic matchup this week against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons were terrible last year against really all phases of offense. There really wasn't anything they were actually good at defending. They allowed the second most fantasy points to quarterbacks last year. They also ranked 29th in pass DVOA as well. So I just think this is a really good matchup for the Saints to really get off to a good start. There's not really anything that worries me about this defense. I think whether you have Jameis Winston, if you drafted him, or if you maybe you drafted one of the fringe quarterbacks and you don't really love their matchup this week, I think this is a quarterback to pivot to for this 1 week, because this is a dream matchup starting the season with Atlanta. Whether it's Kamara, whether it's Chris Olave, who's a player I really like as well in this matchup, or even Michael Thomas. I think all of the pass catchers here are well in play. So love Jameis Winston.
Speaking of just dream matchups to start your year, let's talk about Matt Ryan and the Indianapolis Colts. This one is simple. They're going up against the Texans. I can literally just drop it right there. But they are 8-point road favorites. And even though the total is a little bit low at 44.5, the Colts still have an implied point total of 26.75. So a nice number there. We've heard all offseason how this is going to be Matt Ryan's offense. He's going to be the one leading it. They want to throw more, going to be running more plays, at a quicker pace as well, which can't be too difficult considering they were dead last year in the NFL in situation neutral pace of play. Then you look at the Houston defense. Yes, they spent their first 2 picks on the defensive side of the ball with Stingley at corner and then Petrie as a safety, but this defense still going to have a hard time stopping offenses this year. So really like Matt Ryan as a solid QB.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one as well. I think these are 2 of the better matchups this week that we'll be looking at for fantasy options. So yes, I don't think you can really go wrong with either one of them. I do want to mention, just in case anybody has questions, our QB rankings, especially our QB1s. I did want to mention this with Patrick Mahomes. Me and Cody both have Patrick Mahomes as 1 and 2. And then we have Robbie, who has him at 7, which dropped him down to 4. So people are wondering why he's down at 4. That is why. Great matchup this week for Kansas City. We'll probably be talking about that in other videos for the pass catchers there in this offense. So that being said, let's go ahead and just jump over to our tight end options for this week. All right, for our tight end options this week, at tight end 1, we have Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Dalton Schultz, Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, Dallas Goedert, George Kittle, Zach Ertz, TJ Hockenson, Dawson Knox, Cole Kmet, and Pat Freiermuth. So, Cody, give us one tight end that's outside of the tight end 1 group that you are really high on this week.
Let's start off with someone who's starting off on the right foot just simply by being healthy. And that's Evan Engram. Talking about, we're still talking about a super athletic dude. We've seen him flash that big play potential, but he's been banged up a bunch, and he's also just been on just absolute booty cheek offenses. The Jags' new head coach, Doug Peterson, has not been shy about bringing up the importance of tight end in his offense. Said they're going to involve them early and often. There were a lot of training camp reports, especially early on, talking about Trevor Lawrence targeting Evan Engram early and often. Obviously, a bunch of talent on that Washington defense, but I think linebackers where you can kind of point to a weakness for them. So I think Engram is sneaky in this one. And then obviously if the Jags get behind this game, which I'm not necessarily sure that they do, obviously that's just going to lead to a better situation for us as fantasy players with them playing from behind. So I think Evan Engram is a sneaky option this week.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Albert O. This is going to be the revenge game. I mean, there's a lot of revenge games going on this week, and one of them being this Russ, playing against Seattle right out the gate. They get to unleash Russ in this offense. We're finally going to see what this offense can do. Now that they've made this trade, we all know Seattle is absolutely terrible. This is going to be an absolute terrible team. Likely going to have the first overall pick next year because this team is just, atrocious. So I'm going to go with Albert O. He's kind of been somebody that's through the draft process of this offseason in August and really September. Somebody that a lot of people were kind of back and forth on, didn't really know what to do with, but super athletic tight end. And last year was kind of behind Noah Fant, but now Noah Fant is gone. And Seattle was terrible last year. Surprise, surprise against tight ends. They allowed the 7th most fantasy points to the position last year. And so with Tim Patrick going down, I think that really kind of opens the door for somebody like Albert O to maybe be third in this team in targets. And so the only thing that would worry me about this would just be if just Denver just absolutely crush this team and they just really kind of run the football and they don't really have to open up the offense as much as you would think. But overall, I still think Albert O is in a really good spot. He's somebody that is kind of a late round tight end that I really like this year, and somebody that I think right out the gate, and really somebody that is still pretty widely available, not drafted everywhere. So if he's available, you just, again, another situation where maybe you don't like the tight end you may have drafted, I think Albert O makes a lot of sense, and what is one of the better matchups of the entire weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also looking forward to see what kind of like snap share he has with some of the questions that we had coming out of camp. But I think he's a more than fine option for week 1. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. We'll be sure that we respond to all of them, or better yet, join us on Wednesday night when we go live. We're going to be live every Wednesday night this season, like we were last season, to answer all of your start-sit questions, waivers, trades, all that stuff. So join us on Wednesday live. You can also jump into the Discord, or like I said, just leave a comment. So make sure you hit us with a sub and a like, and we'll talk to you all soon.